We are at the start line of the 2023 Cyclocross National Championship. I'm here with Darron. Darron is the course designer for this venue, for this event this year. And every year for Cyclocross Nationals, we hear a lot of feedback from people about the course and how it was designed and how maybe, we've been in this venue a lot before. So maybe it was different than it was 2018 or different from what we remember. And we thought it'd be a great idea to get you and talk to you just about what went into your decision making, what other factors were out there that kind of led you to the course that you designed.
Yeah, I mean, I questioned that a lot in my head when I was coming here to design this. I mean, ultimately, there's been a lot of races run here, right? And they've all done something really similar. So my thought was, why not do something very different? I've heard feedback from local people that use this park all the time, and some of the stuff that we used in 2018 was maybe not well received. Not that it's influenced all my decisions, but ultimately I wanted to do something different and keep people up higher. Just Louisville rains every 2 days, it seems like, but it hasn't rained for 2 weeks. So it kind of forced my hand a little bit.
Let me start with the start. So in 2018, we were up near the main building, and this year we're down here. Any decision in just changing the start
On
finish?
On the start, the reason I wanted to move it down here was literally because the start and the finish right there, as we get wet, it becomes dangerous. It turned into a big mud hole, and we're going in there with a bunch of speed, maybe 2 people up, and I feel like this is a way safer starter and finish.
All right, great. Let's go take a look at some of the features.
Heck yeah.
All right, so we're here at what was, I think many people would consider the iconic feature of the 2018 course, which was this big descent drop. We're standing right now on the walking path that people would hit and then basically launch it from here. From my perspective, I know it was like so much fun to be here and to hang out, but I can imagine from yours, maybe some other considerations going into this.
100%. And like in 18, I raced that course along with working it. And when you would hit this and both rims would hit the pavement and then you launched off the other side, it was a little unnerving. It made it interesting to watch for sure. But I was trying to keep a little more safety, in mind with the new section, because it's actually moved over a bit. I moved from one side of the big oak to the other side to add some length into this descent and then this off camber going behind us.
And what we've seen all week, where it's now Saturday, we have the first UCI races that are happening this afternoon with the juniors, and then all day on Sundays, UCI races. What we're looking at here hasn't been raced yet, right?
Exactly. And that was one of my big concerns. I've heard a lot from the elites in the past that they get on a course and it is destroyed, let's say. And a lot of the things I tried to do with this Nationals was to give the elites as much fresh new course to create their own lines and be their own creative selves instead of having to deal with most of the amateur lines.
Well, and that's the thing we haven't talked about yet, as much as people remember 2018, and it's always, as time goes by, it's always these, you remember it fondly, but at the time it was a big running race because every race was basically on the same, run-ups that we'll get to. Yeah. And I think what you're saying is that part of the elite's problem was that they were on a course that had been raced for an entire week with rain, with everything else.
Yeah. And that was one of my big concerns, knowing that Louisville typically rains every 2 days decently. And then since we've been here, it's rained once. When I already had the design done, I've been honestly praying for rain to make the course race like I envisioned it.
How much do you think the extra UCI course that you will add in timing? What's your estimate on what do you think it'll add to a lap? I mean, I was seeing under 7-minute laps, for some of these faster fields.
On some of the fast and dry, for sure, they were under 7 minutes. I'm thinking that it is going to add with weather dependent. I'm thinking that we're going to be closer to 8 minutes, but still under, maybe a little bit closer to actual time. I mean, there's always a magic number that we're trying to hit. I just haven't figured out what that magic number is.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about this descent here. Do you want to go look at the bowl?
Yeah, we can go look at that.
All right, let's go do that. Okay, Darron, we were on our way to this bowl section, but I wanted to stop here first just because I think some of the criticism that you've heard so far, at least some of the comments I've seen, is like, oh, they turned Louisville into a grass crit. And I look at a feature like this, this off-camber, which was difficult in 2018. It's still going to be on the course for the UCI race. I'm looking at it now, and it already looks like you can see where people have been sliding down just pre-riding it, and that's in dry conditions. This could be a factor.
100%. I mean, I've watched people try to ride this, and we haven't even really got weather yet. I mean, it rained for 10 minutes this morning, and nobody's got it right yet. Well, one person, but they did.
You don't have to say who they are.
And I was not going to, but they did dirty side dismount. Let's just say that.
Amazing.
We tried to set it a little bit differently this time because we we came straight into it last time, and I wanted to do a descent down into it to challenge people to be able to break and hit a inside line if that's what works out or not. And it's about the challenge ultimately. And with rain, it's going to be a soup sandwich, let's say.
Nice. Okay, now let's go see this bowl section. So one of the big features that we had in 2018, I think the thing that people may remember the most, especially from the single speed race and then even into the elites, we were basically in it. We're in that huge sort of sweeping off camber that was muddy and slick, was almost impossible to ride, and those that tried usually ended up on their side. Why isn't that here now?
One of the biggest reasons is the park has stepped in and planted some young trees in here. They planted them just this summer when I was back here for site visits. So one of the concerns was, hey, you guys aren't going to go there, right? And we made the concession to, we don't want to affect what you're doing in your park. And they use this as a managed meadow anyway, where they try and let it go as much back to a natural untouched state as they can. And there was maybe a little bit of concern from park people in the past over some of the races here.
Okay. Once this happens this year and you see everything that's going on and how the course lays out, I think one of the benefits that you have is that USA Cycling is now in the cycle, at least for this time around, where we're coming back here again next year, right? So what's the process once you see all the racing happening tomorrow? Does the work just start then for going for next year?
I've already got ideas in my head. I mean, I have an idea of a course already with the flyover in a different place. The pits need to pretty much stay where they're at because of the infrastructure that's there. But, the course has always kind of been ran the same direction, like at least pavement wise, we use the same direction, and might be cool to mix it up a little bit.
Anything else out here that you're really looking forward to seeing the best that the U.S. has to offer a race on? This is your baby now. So what are you looking forward to seeing the elites do?
Honestly, on the hill that we've looked at previously, I'm excited to watch that. Honestly, the other side of the bowl from us has been deceivingly slick. We ran part of the course over there in 2018. But we tried to stay out of the Osage trees so that there was no issues there. But surprisingly, very soft and very slick over there. And then where they come back onto the pavement is surprisingly slick as well. I rode it, what day was that? Thursday. And I spun out coming onto the pavement and almost went down. It was, and we didn't have any weather by that point at all yet. So I think it's going to get better. We can just get the clouds to cooperate.
Excellent. Well, Darron, thanks for chatting with us. I know you've been involved in ops for so many years for USA Cycling. So having you as the course designer is fun. This is what, you know, we've known each other for a long time. So just getting to see you do this is cool. And I look forward to not only this year, but seeing what you get to do with this going forward.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.